The Academy's most dangerous student always had to lay low, until he had to efface his own kind. A vampire. Quinn Talon had been an orphan his whole life, just a powerless boy in a world full of superheroes. Everyone assumed he was a weak loser, a nobody, and so anyone would shove him into lockers, knock him off the chairs, or even throw his lunch across the cafeteria just for fun. But Quinn didn't fight back, not because he couldn't, but because if he did, his deadly secret will be out. A secret so dangerous, it would swipe the whole world with it. In fact, if they knew Quinn was so powerful that his one bite can kill his enemy in an instant, no normal human would dare bully him. Unfortunately, ability users are trained to hunt his kind. If he let his bloodlust out, they will know he is a vampire, the last of them alive, and it would be straight-up execution from there. The ability users he is surrounded with will not even blink before killing him. These are the same generations of superheroes who killed his entire species, brutally. Everything his species had ever built, their knowledge, their power, their legacy, buried or burned by these hunters. But not everything. There were rumors of a weapon stolen from vampires long ago that was still hiding somewhere in this academy. The last relic of his species, left behind for whoever came after, waiting for its true owner. So Quinn did the last thing anyone would expect a vampire to do. He enrolled in the Academy of Ability Users, put on the uniform, kept his head down, became the powerless orphan that everyone kicked around. The plan was working, until the day the Academy decided to make him kill one of his own kind. It was the opening ceremony for Weapons Selection Day. Today, each of them would select a weapon that would define the rest of their lives. A weapon that would multiply their power and make them into something dangerous. A strong figure climbed the steps of the central platform. It was Master Leo, a stout man, wild wavy hair and a hook for a hand. Today is not just a beginning. His voice rolled across the courtyard slowly. Today is the day your lives will forever change. Because today, you will select your weapons. The crowd erupted. Master Leo raised his hand again. But first, he smiled. There is something that must happen before any of you set foot in that armory. Murmurs and confusion rise from the crowd. To honor the 1,000-year legacy of this academy, the war this institution was built to fight and built to win, one of you will complete the initiation ritual. The murmurs got louder. You will face a vampire. The courtyard went dead silent. Behind a thick wall of iron at the far end of the arena, something growled, low, wet, hungry. Quinn felt his system flicker at the edge of his vision before he could stop it. A girl near the front raised her hand. Her voice came out smaller than she intended. Is it a real vampire? Master Leo gave a smirk. No, unfortunately. It is a simulation, built from actual vampire blood. Students laughed, relieved. Quinn did not laugh. He was already looking for the exits. Master Leo stepped down from the platform. His eyes moved slowly, deliberately, across the assembled students, scanning each face, and then stopped, right on Quinn. You will go first. The observation deck above the arena pit was lined with students. Below, in the pit, the vampire waited. Quinn stood at the top of the steps and looked down at it. He couldn't do this. Not because he was scared of losing, but because the thing standing at the bottom of those steps wasn't just a monster. It was built from vampire blood. His species. And his system already knew it. Warning, vampire entity detected. Proximity alert. He started down the steps anyway. He needed to stay in this academy. He needed to find the weapon. Everything else was secondary. He reached the arena floor. The vampire's head turned toward him, and its eyes opened. Red, burning, fixed on Quinn. Quinn's system blared again. Warning, vampire simulation identified as own species. Engaging own species is prohibited. Initiating full power suppression. The strength left him all at once. His legs went heavy. His vision blurred at the edges. The power he kept locked away every single day was gone. The clone crossed the arena in a blur. It hit Quinn like a wall. Quinn flew backward and hit the ground so hard the stone cracked beneath him. Then the laughter started. He can't even fight a simulation. How does he expect to survive a real one? Quinn kept moving, kept his eyes on the vampire, tried to think. He couldn't use his power. His system would self-destruct if he attacked his own species. He couldn't run. The academy would throw him out. He had to survive this with nothing. The vampire lunged. Quinn dodged, barely, and felt the air move against his cheek as it missed by inches. He stumbled, caught himself, turned around, and found Rex standing in the arena. He stood between Quinn and the vampire with his arms folded and a grin on his face. Rex was the kind of person who treated cruelty like a hobby. He was very good at his hobby. "Are you struggling, talentless Talon?" He tilted his head. "Let me help." He shoved Quinn toward the simulation. "Fight it, you loser!" Quinn stumbled forward. The vampire lunged. He twisted sideways and took the hit on his shoulder instead of his face. Pain exploded down his arm and hit the ground on one knee. The crowd above roared. Rex circled Quinn slowly, playing to the audience with every step. "Look at this. He can't fight a hologram." He crouched down to Quinn's level. "What exactly are you doing here?" Quinn got back up. Quinn looked at the vampire, looked at Rex, then looked at his own fist. And for a second, he decided he didn't care what happened next. He pulled his arm back. System trigger immediate self-destruct sequence. Motor function suspended. His body stopped. Mid-swing, completely frozen. He couldn't move a single muscle. The whole courtyard stared at him. Then Rex started laughing. "He's frozen!" The crowd lost it. Quinn stood in the middle of the arena, locked inside his own body, while 500 people laughed at him. Rex straightened up, wiped his eyes, and turned to the simulation. "Fine," he said. "I'll do it." He hit the vampire with a single wall of force that sent it flying across the arena. Before it even landed, he hit it again, and again, until the simulation slammed into the far wall and shattered into light and dissolved. The crowd went absolutely wild. Rex turned back to Quinn as he raised his hand. Power crackled at his fingertips, hot, electric, building fast, and he leveled it directly at Quinn's face. "Now, back to you." He was about to hit Quinn when a voice resonated in the arena. "That will be enough, Mr. Rex," Master Leo said. The energy in Rex's hand died instantly. Master Leo stood at the edge as his eyes moved from Rex to Quinn. "Thank you for completing the initiation on Quinn's behalf. You have just watched a holographic projection of a vampire be defeated." He paused. "Impressive. However," he let the words sit, "a real vampire would have killed every last one of you before you drew your first breath. To face what is truly out there, you will need to become something far more powerful than what you are today." He turned toward the massive iron doors at the far end of the courtyard. The ground opened slowly, a deep, resonant sound. Beyond them, the armory. Weapons lining every wall, ancient and modern, humming with stored power. "It begins now." His voice was quiet and final. "And it will not be you who chooses your weapon. It will be the weapon that chooses you." His gaze moved one last time across the crowd. Then he turned away. "Move, now!" As soon as the crowd heard this, they started filing out of the arena. Quinn followed as well. Everyone had talked about weapon selection, but he didn't realize what it was until he entered the ceremony in the armory. Master Leo clapped his hands.
"Now, you may pick up a sword and think it's right for you, but if you don't know it's right for you, then it's wrong."
He smiled.
"Now, pick your weapon."
Students were swinging blades, putting ammo into rifles, laughing at the power humming in their hands. Quinn surveyed the rows of weaponry, eyes finally landing on a sleek, curved blade.
"Let's see if you're the one."
He grabbed the sword, lifting the blade until, crack! The blade shattered in his grip. Other students looked over at him, gasping. Quinn took a step back, embarrassed.
"Okay, definitely not for me."
Master Leo cackled.
"Ha, if it breaks, it was never yours to begin with."
Quinn zeroed in on his next target, a spiked flail. He lifted it, and it felt shockingly light in his hands. Maybe this was his weapon. It should have weighed 1,000 pounds, but in his grip it felt effortless. Only, he realized that the flail was floating toward the ceiling. It was weightless in his hands. Useless. Quinn replaced it on the rack.
Not that one either.
And then, he saw them. A pair of black gauntlets, wicked and jagged, like dragon claws. Something deep inside of him stirred. The moment his fingers touched them, the world shifted. A chill ran down his spine. His system flickered to life.
Bloodbound gauntlets. Strength +5. Defense +2. Awakened beast weapon. Compatibility 100%.
Quinn didn't feel like he was handling some foreign weapon. He felt like he had found another piece of him. A piece that had been waiting for him. This wasn't just a weapon. This was his. As Quinn stared at the gauntlets with awe, Master Leo appeared over his shoulder.
You've got an interesting eye, kid. You think those are for you?
Quinn turned to see Leo's eyes flicking between Quinn and the gauntlets.
Not many people choose gauntlets as their first weapon.
He seemed wary for some reason. Quinn frowned.
Why not?
Master Leo ran a hand through his hair.
Fighting up close requires no fear, no hesitation. But they're tough, relentless, really. You have to match them, or they'll tear you apart.
Master Leo's eyes narrowed.
But more than that, these gauntlets in particular are special.
Quinn stiffened.
What?
Master Leo leaned in, inspecting the gauntlets at close range.
The former owner wasn't exactly human.
Quinn stared at the gauntlets for a time.
If he wasn't human, what was...
But Master Leo was already gone. Quinn hesitated, then reached out. The moment he touched the gauntlets, something clicked. A pulse ran through him. The gauntlets adjusted, molding to his body. His screen flickered.
Bloodbound gauntlets equipped. Perfect match detected. +12 strength. +12 agility. +10 stamina. +10 defense.
Quinn flexed his fingers. The metal moved with him, light as air, but strong as stone. It was a perfect fit, like they had always been meant for him. Across the room, Quinn didn't notice that Master Leo was watching him intently. Then the battle commander shouted out,
Enough dawdling. Let's put your weapons to the test.
The students turned towards Master Leo as he strode toward the far end of the armory, where a massive iron door rumbled open.
Whoa.
Quinn stepped towards the opening doorway, following the crowd outside of the armory. The ceiling was impossibly high, and glowing runes lined the walls. Master Leo turned to the students.
In this test, you'll wield your chosen weapons. But there's one rule here. No abilities. If you deserve your weapon, you earn it with raw talent alone.
A wave of murmurs swept over the students. Quinn's jaw hung open. No abilities meant no one could overpower him with fireballs or telekinetic blasts. But it also meant he had no excuse to not fight back. He searched through the crowd, looking for Erin. Looking for the only friend he had in this school, and also his crush, Erin. She was beautiful, but she was also the most powerful student in the academy. Where was she? Had she found a weapon yet? Master Leo grinned.
The way this works is exactly like you'd expect. Duels. Now, are there any volunteers?
Nobody moved until a giant student stepped forward.
A duel sounds fun!
He didn't look like he belonged in the crowd. He was massive, wielding a battle axe. He seemed like he could crush every other student in his hands. A murmur once again swept through the crowd. Absolutely nobody wanted to face him. The giant grinned.
What? No takers? Cowards, all of you!
Then, Erin stepped forward, sighing. She carried a long sword that looked carved from ice. It was perfect for her. Master Leo grinned.
This is interesting.
Erin looked bored.
I was hoping for a tougher opponent.
The huge man didn't hesitate. He charged in. When he swung it down, Erin spun her body to the side, avoiding the blow, and at the same time slashed at the back of the man's legs, causing him to stumble. She then placed her blade towards the man's neck, inches away from his throat. The huge man panicked.
I yield! I yield!
It all happened so fast, some students didn't even notice it. A girl next to Quinn shook her head.
I knew Erin was strong, but I didn't realize she was that strong.
Master Leo grinned.
That was excellent. We clearly have some talented students here. But for our next fight, Let's see someone a little less experienced have a crack.
The students all shifted uncomfortably. No one wanted to be thrown into the arena after watching Erin dismantle her opponent in seconds. Leo gazed through the crowd, calculating, searching, and then his eyes landed on Quinn. Quinn froze.
You.
The crowd turned. Quinn pointed at himself.
Me?
Master Leo grinned.
Yeah, you. The one staring at the floor who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
A wave of chuckles rippled through the students. Quinn froze.
Maybe someone higher level should go?
Master Leo walked toward him and clapped him on the back.
Nonsense. You just got a brand new set of gauntlets, didn't you? Gauntlets that are very special.
Quinn swallowed. He could feel the weight of the gauntlets on his hands. Leo smirked.
And what better way to test them than in front of all your friends?
The crowd laughed again, some with a mocking amusement. Quinn opened his mouth, desperate to get out of this. But then he heard a familiar voice.
Perfect! I'll volunteer to face him!
It was Loop, Rex's sidekick. He wasn't quite as strong as Rex, but was still a tough opponent. Rex punched Loop on the arm.
I was going to take him!
Loop smiled enormously wide.
What can I say? Little Miss Quinny and I have a date!
The tension in the air thickened. Everyone had gone silent. Master Leo clapped his hands.
Beautiful. A willing volunteer. That makes things easy, doesn't it?
The crowd began to fold around them, leaving Loop and Quinn standing alone in the center. Everyone expected him to lose. His HP was still low, and he was going to have to fight with nothing but his fists. This was going to suck. Quinn took a deep breath, studying Loop, who held a large spear. He looked out at the crowd and made eye contact with Erin. She smiled at him. He could swear he saw her mouth.
This is gonna be good.
Quinn's system chimed.
Opponent power level 3. Bonus experience will be rewarded.
Quinn cursed under his breath. Master Leo's smile was gone. He was dead serious, staring intently at Quinn. It was creeping him out. Leo shouted.
Begin.
Loop charged forward, spear aimed at Quinn's chest. Quinn tensed up, his mind cautioning him. Don't be too fast. Don't be too strong. Don't stand out. Don't let them know what you are. He sidestepped a second too late and felt the point of the spear graze his ribs. Pain flared and the crowd gasped. Loop smiled wide.
This is even more fun without powers!
Quinn exhaled sharply. He could dodge all day, but he'd need to fight back, or this guy would kill him. But how? Quinn whispered under his breath.
Inspect.
His system screen flickered.
Loop Erickson. Ability. Psychic energy. Health points 5 out of 15. Blood type O positive.
He dodged another stab from Loop. Then, he heard Erin's voice call out.
Get in close.
She was helping him, and she was right. If he got in close, he'd be able to use the gauntlets. But if he stayed at a distance... He smiled. Quinn ducked his shoulder, moving like he was going to charge in close. But as soon as Loop reacted, he leapt back, dodging Loop's spear thrust and catching the spear. Loop's grin vanished.
What the hell?
Loop pulled at the weapon, trying to yank it free, but Quinn held firm. He was stronger than him, even without the gauntlets. He was too strong, too fast. Quinn smiled, but then his eyes landed on Master Leo, watching him intently. Something had changed in the old man, and Quinn felt a cold sweat of nervousness.
Can he tell what I am?
Loop snarled, yanking harder.
Let go, you freak!
Quinn needed to finish things, so with a single clawed punch, he cracked the spear in half. The crowd gasped again. Loop stumbled backward, stunned.
What the hell? My weapon! It's a piece of junk!
Leo didn't say anything. He continued watching, studying Quinn intently. Quinn leapt forward. Loop had no time to react before Quinn's fist slammed into his gut. Quinn followed up with a knee to the chin. Blood sprayed. Loop slumped to the ground, out cold but still breathing. Quinn turned and faced the stunned, silent crowd. Master Leo stepped up.
Winner, Quinn Talon.
Quinn's system chimed in his mind.
Opponent has been defeated. 50 experience points rewarded. First time higher power level bonus. Another 50 experience points rewarded. 220 out of 200 experience points. Congratulations, You are now level 2.
Quinn had leveled up for the first time, and he slowly looked down at his body. Weird, his wounds were healing. Was that because he had leveled up?
Level up override. Health restored to maximum.
Quinn wanted to get out of the limelight, and fast. As he walked away, someone shouted out.
That's not fair! Loop was obviously using a faulty weapon!
Murmurs rippled over the crowd. Quinn felt everyone watching him. Another girl raised her voice.
Yeah, and what was with that anyway? That idiot still attacked him after seeing his weapon break. He should be punished.
Rex stepped forward.
There's no way he won fairly! He's a cheater! He sabotaged Loop's weapon!
Master Leo casually picked up the broken spear.
I can guarantee every weapon in this hall is perfectly maintained, each given as much care as the next.
Rex snarled.
Then how do you explain Loop's weapon breaking? He cheated! He used an ability!
More students murmured. Another student stepped forward.
He's right! No way some random kid with no ability just beat Loop. He's hiding something.
The voices grew louder. Students stared at Quinn with suspicion. Master Leo shook his head.
Enough!
The crowd had gone silent.
I can guarantee no abilities were used.
Rex took a step toward him.
How can you be so sure?
Before Leo could respond, Aaron stepped forward.
Don't you know who that is? Are you seriously questioning him?
Rex suddenly seemed self-conscious.
That doesn't necessarily mean...
Before Rex could finish his sentence, Leo flicked his wrist. Rex flinched, and a thin red line appeared on his cheek as the broken spear embedded itself in the wall. The crowd had gone silent. Master Leo studied Quinn intently.
I told you, I'd know if the boy used an ability, but
Master Leo stopped, gaze fixed on Quinn.
there's still something to him, isn't there?
Quinn felt his heartbeat race. Leo didn't say anything more. He didn't have to. Even if Leo didn't know, he at least suspected. And that was bad enough. Rex knelt next to Loop and helped him back to his feet. Loop stared at Quinn, rage bubbling. His voice came out as a growl.
What the hell?
The crowd once again buzzed to life. Loop's bloodshot eyes stared at Quinn, landing on his ribs, where a wound was supposed to be. He was fully healed. How was that possible? Loop pointed a shaking finger.
Look at him! Look at this freak! He's healed! He's not normal!
Whispers returned, now harsher.
Wait, he's right. He was injured before. How did he heal so fast?
Leo stepped toward him, boots echoing in the dead quiet hall. And he turned to the other students, his smile gone.
All of you disgrace this academy with your lack of discipline.
The students shrank under his gaze.
You are disappointments, every last one of you, except...
His gaze flickered, first to Aaron, and then to Quinn. Leo held his stare, then turned away.
Get out. We'll take this up tomorrow.
No one argued. Everyone grabbed their things and ran from the arena. Everyone thought Quinn was a nobody. But now, they weren't so sure. He slipped down a quiet corridor and ducked into an empty classroom. Breathe. But then the door opened.
Impressive performance for someone supposedly powerless.
It was Aaron.
I can explain.
Aaron tilted her head.
You don't need to.
She stepped closer, her eyes locking onto his.
I'm an original. I was born with my powers, not from an ability book. It's my family's deepest secret. That's why we're so strong.
Aaron peered at him intently, as if she were really seeing him.
I can sense other originals.
She thought he was like her, but he was a vampire. The thing that ability users like originals had spent centuries hunting down and killing. He swallowed hard. He'd need to play this carefully. Aaron took another step toward him, voice soft.
You can't tell anyone.
Quinn nodded.
I won't.
Quinn wanted to tell her that he is not an original. He was something much worse, but he couldn't. Quinn and Aaron stepped out of the empty classroom into the hallway, but as they turned the corner, Quinn realized something was wrong. Rex and Loop stepped into their path.
You're worthless, Quinn! You had your moment, but you'll always be nothing. So why don't we take down your little girlfriend instead?
Aaron tensed next to Quinn.
You won't touch her.
Quinn tried to take a step forward but was frozen in place. Electricity was wrapped around his legs. Loop was channeling a stasis spell. Rex smiled.
It's perfect. We'll make you watch.
Quinn was pinned down.
Aaron, get out of here.
Aaron took a tentative step back just before a blast of energy slammed her into the lockers.
Aaron!
Loop and Rex both launched spells at her. She threw up a shield of ice, but it wasn't going to be enough. Not facing both of them, Quinn needed to do something, and fast. But breaking out of this hold would require him to reveal his powers. Rex cackled with glee.
She's not going to hold much longer.
Aaron's shield spell was breaking. Any second now it would collapse. Loop blasted her with electricity.
Keep going!
Aaron shook as the spells rocked off her shield. She squeezed her eyes shut, desperately trying to hang on. But then, suddenly the spells stopped. Aaron opened her eyes and stared with shock. Quinn was standing in front of her, holding back the energy from both spells. His body surged with power, his fangs were bared, and the spells bounced off of him like nothing. He cracked his neck. His system chimed.
Full vampiric powers activated.
His secret had been revealed. The gloves had finally come off. His full power was on display, and not just to Aaron, but to Rex and Loop. Quinn grinned.
Now you've really done it.
Quinn's secret has finally been revealed. Will he use his powers to make his bullies pay? What new powers will he gain? And how will Aaron react now that she knows he's a vampire? Install the Pocket FM app within the next 30 seconds to download 20 free episodes before this offer disappears. What are you waiting for? Click now.